How to be confident when you're on camera. And this, I'm talking about if you're doing short form video, if you're doing YouTube videos, if you're going live on social media, any of this training that I'm going to be talking about today can be used in all formats of video. And if anyone can learn this, this is a new skill to learn. And if anyone can learn it, or if I can do it, anyone can do it, because I was pretty green when I first got started. It was, yeah, it's kind of, I go back and I look at those videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's just another skill to learn. So how do you do it? But if you have not met me before, my name is Anna Olson. I am a coach and mentor teaching small business owners how to use video to market their business on social media. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from. And let's see, I get a message saying there was an error. Let's see here. Hopefully that has corrected itself. Let me make sure I'm live. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from and join me in this conversation. This technology, difficult technology, is sometimes enough to drive me crazy. There we go. I am live. All right. Awesome. Sorry about that for that interruption. But anyway, so let's talk about how to be confident on camera. And I'm just going to go through and talk about some ways, some of the things that I use I did use to get more confident on camera. And just everything that things will change. And again, the biggest part, of course, is practice, but I'll get to that. So let's talk about posture. When you're on camera, you want to make sure that you're either standing or sitting up and have some good posture. You don't want to be sitting back and talking slowly and just, no energy behind it. No energy behind it. People aren't going to watch you if there's no energy behind it. I mean, really, you need to have some energy behind it. And then body language. Have some body language. Have some emotion to go with it. Have some movement in your videos. I mean, as you're recording, because it all matters. And then knowing where to look. Look at the camera. It is okay to have notes and to look at and maybe look at the notes a little bit. You could let people know that you have notes, so you make sure you get the message across that you wanted to get across. It's okay to have notes, but it's not okay to read a script. We don't want to read a script or be looking down here reading something or looking to the side and reading something. You want to be looking at the camera. People need to see your eyeballs. I'm like, eyeballs to the camera, eyeballs to the camera. I remember my coach saying that, my mentor saying that, eyeballs to the camera. So that's what I make sure that I do, is that I'm looking directly at the camera and know where that is. And sometimes if I'm using my phone, I will actually make sure that I know exactly where the camera is, because it does make a difference. So you want to know where that is, wherever you're recording your video. And then smile. People want to listen to people that are happy, that are smiling. It's just the way it is. They're not going to watch you if you don't have a smile and you don't have some emotion and you don't have some movement in yourself, in your face, in your whatever it is. And then, of course, dressing nicely. Don't show up in your jammies. Don't show up in your, obviously, when you're trying to, depending on what you're doing. I mean, having a pajama party and showing people that you're having a party and all of that, that's fine. But depending on, dress for success. What are you doing? What is your message? Dress for success. That's the easiest way to explain that, okay? Know your topic. Know your topic. I have to go back and I have to think about when I was doing public speaking, because I did public speaking for about 8 years. And I was talking about the way that I grew up. And I sometimes had a crowd of 300 people. And sometimes even more. I forget just how many people there were in my group, or in groups that I spoke to. But I was nervous about getting up there in front of that many people, but I used that nervous energy to present the message. It wasn't that I was scared of them, or that, but I knew my subject. My subject was, I had lived that life. And if you're curious what I was talking about, I was talking about growing up Amish, and I was teaching people how that lifestyle. So I would do training I had a presentation where I would present different aspects of the Amish life, and then I would open it up for questions. And that was the best part of the presentation for me, was the questions, because it got people interacting with me. But knowing my topic is really the key. I mean, once you know your topic, and if you can, and your brand, I mean, really, your brand should be your topic. What is your brand? And if you haven't figured out a brand, then that's probably the first step that you want to figure out, so that you can actually move forward. Because knowing yourself and knowing your subject, knowing your topic, is going to be, your videos are going to come, it's going to come across in your videos. Absolutely will come across. If you don't know your topic, that will come across as well. And like I said, you can have a script or a notes. I call it notes. I'll have some notes to make sure that I stay on topic, and that I get everything across that I was going to begin with. But I never read from a script when I'm on video. You don't want to be looking away and reading. You want to be looking at the camera, okay? So that's really, really important. And then the next part, of course, is to practice, practice, practice. Always practice. The more you do it, the better it will get, okay? It's just the way it is. And give yourself some time. Don't rush into, or don't say, okay, oh man, I go to bed at 10 o'clock and it's now 9:30. I still have to do a live. Don't push yourself to the end of the day like that. Or don't say, I'm going to go live at 1 p.m. and at 1:45, you have done nothing to prepare for your live. I'm not saying it should take you 15 minutes to prepare for your live. It doesn't take me that long anymore, but you should prepare yourself. Have something prepared. Don't rush yourself. Hey, Camille, thank you for joining me. I see I see your comment. It's great that you could join me. Let's see. Yeah, make sure you have plenty of time. You want to just prepare yourself. I like to actually, and this is a tip for you. Yes, it is extremely important to be prepared, Camille. I completely understand. I like to actually plan out the whole month. I do Facebook Lives 3 times a week, and I'll just plan out the whole month what I'm going to be doing. And actually, there are times when I'll say, oh, you know what? I had planned to do this, but I have a better subject that's relevant right now. So I'll move that one off to another day. But having something in mind for the whole month, it just makes things so much easier week for week if I do that. And maybe you just do it once a week, or you plan your week, at least plan your week. But don't plan it and do it 2 minutes later. I mean, that's just pushing yourself too hard. Hydrate, make sure you drink lots of water. You're going to hear me say that all the time. All the time. Drinking water. Okay, I got to show you. This is my water jug. It is literally a gallon jug. And this is what I drink every day. I'm already off to 5 p.m. I've drank enough It tells you in kind of the time of the day that you should have this much water down. I'm almost to 5 p.m. and it's not even 1 p.m. for my time. So I like to do it early, get that down, but drink water, drink lots of water. Okay. Let's see. And then some final tips that I have is, like I said earlier, make sure that you know where your camera is. If you're moving around, if you're standing, make sure you know where you're looking at and find the spot that you need to be looking at. And then limit your distractions. Limit your distractions. I mean, I get distractions sometimes. If you watched any of my lives, you've noticed some distractions. For one thing, we have a little dog around here. I just looked down to see if I could see her, but she likes to go running and barking. She can see out the window and she can see the birds and the squirrels out there. So she thinks she has she's so in control of her domain here. And she goes running and barking. And it usually happens when I'm on live. Today she's upstairs and she's not in the room that I'm in. So, but I like to limit the distractions that I'm going to have. And I always let my family know, hey, I'm going to be going live. I don't need you to walk in and start talking to me. And of course, if they hear me talking, they won't do that. But still, it's good to have that stuff in mind. Okay. And forget the final thing that I'm going to talk about. Forget about perfection. Just be you. Just start talking. You just don't need to be perfect. It really does not matter. People will actually connect to you more if you don't try to be so rigid and so perfect. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. People like that. People like that. People actually love that. So those are my tips for being how to feel more confident in front of the camera. Keep those things in mind and do it again and again and again. And you will get so much better. You're going to say to yourself, in a year from now, you're going to say to yourself, I can't believe I was so concerned about that or worried about that. It's just the way it is. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. So it is actually going on 3 years. And it is really just that simple. So I hope that you got some value from this. Please give me a hashtag value in the comments if you did. And we will see you all on the next video.